wide, but the core speed will secure that second barrier. This team player, I feel like this team player pickup will change the game for Chikara Eclipse because that core speed will allow them to get these interactions, trying to put the ball up the midline as Zanseki gets another goal.
Absolutely. They wouldn't have been able to get around Julak there without team player. That core speed was what they needed to get around Now's like range of influence there with Timeless. Because of that, they were able to get the ball to Zanseki with that flip and they found the goal because of it. It's a very strong pickup, honestly. There's a real chance that Julak just takes team player in that first draft just so they don't get it on their goalie.
Team player isn't even that bad on the midfield if you're playing more passing play style because you just build that core speed, you just ramp up, and you just get the barriers just with good strike placements. As oh my gosh, everyone is almost dead on the side of Chikara Eclipse. Yeah. Cragley staggered. Scandals was staggered before, but good positioning with the or pickup will allow them to get even more. Yin could be found dead on the Atlas snap, gets beamed by Cragley. This is power play comes up for the side of Chikara Eclipse. Let's see if Zanseki will try to get the ball here. Julak playing good defense, but the hit stun from Zanseki will secure that second barrier. Has to passive up. A good strike. Let's see if someone blow himself up. Oh my gosh, they just did. And we have to burn the now special to heal themselves back up, but he's still staggered again. Yin Kirby dashes again in his own side. I would like to see Yin Kirby actually use these dash punches to secure the goal rather than just throw them out with no purpose.
Yeah, I think Julak is, despite them finding that crazy damage in that one offense they played, it feels like they're the ones dying at this point, and it's kind of like they're on the back foot the whole time, but that single shot, even if you're on the back foot, it doesn't mean you can't find the goal. All you need is that one single play finding it through the entire enemy team. Affinity with no cooldowns is not able to save that direct shot.
Yeah, that's... We're back into the neutral state. Kickoff is spawned on the bottom side. Scandals playing this defense again. Ice cold comparison. Layering offense with that big finish. Barrier take is actually happening. Zanseki does not win the strike war against Julak, but he has that flip looking really dangerous here. Scandals uses the triple take to put that corner offense for Chikara Eclipse. Good flip from Scandals. Gets the ball out, but no hit stun will work for Zanseki trying to play into these passive core stop plays, but Beelzebub again ice cold on the defense. The goalies are playing really well in this series, even if these core speed barriers are being taken right now. Cragley, Julak, staggered right now. Yin Kirby using his abilities on the midline, not using, but it all works out. It doesn't matter. Never punish. if you just do it, it'll work out. Just trust your teammates. Oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. Yin Kirby fights the kill. Beelzebub pushed up right here.
Wow.
Good slot in between Zanseki and Scandals will secure that second point for Koyo.
Threading the needle there completely, yeah. I will say, I'm noticing with Yin Kirby, it looks like his abilities are used a lot more, like, when the enemy team has the ball. He's using it to interrupt plays, to gain possession, to hit the enemies. When a lot of times it should be just like that. That dash punch, when it's your offense, your setup, finding those situations, I think it's best if he holds them for those situations. If otherwise you don't have that going on. But because of that, with that wonderful dash punch there, the second barrier is taken, and Koyo is looking in a great spot to take this entire set. As long as Julak doesn't die right here, and he won't because he has now secondary.
I do want to point out Julak's good strike placements and good strike timings will save that last barrier for Beelzebub. Julak has a flip, but a little bit of miscommunication coming out from Beelzebub and Julak. They both walk down for the ball and doesn't cover the option. Zanseki is dead. Found dead again on the outside. And the flame flurry from Yin Kirby will slot the ball in on the bottom side. Set 2 goes over to Koyo.
Wait, the Juliet special didn't hit the ball until it was the perfect moment. That was well played from Yin Kirby. Maybe spacing it like perfectly to get that to happen here. This draft is a bit less intense as the last one, but denying the hot shot from Estelle is probably pretty valuable. She does get prime time, but I think that's a fair trade-off, honestly. Especially considering, by the way, Now has heavy impact timeless hot shots. She has the increased size and 2 different things layering her cooldowns if she hits the ball. That could be like a really low secondary cooldown in this character.
Yeah. As the draft finds out, Finny gets that glass cannon, more speed for them, and size goes over to the Brawlers. Those will help Zanseki and Yinkabi win more interactions because they have more size. They can strike the ball better. But oh my gosh,
is Cragley on 1-2 Punch and Deadeye Estelle, that could be very, very significant with this kill power, especially because of how much damage they're already doing with this team comp, which just naturally ends up doing a lot of damage. Very convincing corner offense, though, coming out from Estelle and Zentaro. Two characters who are kind of known for more open area plays. They're not weak in corner situations either, though, as they're proving right now.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned that the damage will pile up for the Chikara Eclipse, because this corner offense basically leads. Oh my gosh, that beam was beautiful. Maybe eat my words. I didn't even get to finish my sentence there. The first point goes over the Chikara Eclipse.
Catching the upload completely unprepared there. I will say, it's kind of interesting how the later drafts will go too, because it's a Spark start, but not a single Spark has showed up yet in these two drafts. So they'll all be concentrated in the later drafts if Chikara Eclipse does take any of these sets and take it to a set 4 or 5.
Scandal clears the ball out with that team player. Coil flip almost hit the barrier, but unfortunate angle. Beelzebub loses their mind twice, actually, and then it results in the barrier loss. No flip, no cooldowns. Cragley and Zanseki pushing up together. Yinkobi looks to win the 1v1 with that hit stun from the dash punch. Zanseki has the ball right now, slots it in above Beelzebub and gets that second point for Chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, and unfortunately misplaced dribble off the black hole for Yin Kirby, giving up possession there, putting them in that very difficult spot. However, he did take the barrier right after, so it's not like it lost the point alone. They'll just have to move on from that one. They're looking like they're in a great spot for this point. Very condensed offense. They're doing a lot of damage naturally. 2 flips can just kill this enemy team here. Julak is going to walk up and flip Cragley. I know it. I can feel it. I know he wants to. There it is. Boom! Yin Kirby walking up perfectly, knowing exactly what Julak wants to take that second barrier. Spike War Scandals. Though Zanseki is making a bit of a hero play in the 1 versus 3. Finding 1 barrier, but not 2, but it is stalling out, and that's exactly what they need. Because of that, they don't get scored on and Cragley respawn in the neutral game state.
Yeah. Julak playing out of his mind right now. Really using all the cooldowns available to him with that heavy impact. Almost said 1-2 hot shot. That's basically, I don't know the numbers, but that's a really low secondary for now. Yeah. Big finish comes out. Oh my, that strike shot almost good because Cragley had the beam. Good secondary from Cragley, keeps possession here. Oh my gosh, that dribble was unfortunate. Zanseki has the flip. Good composure from Beelzebub and Zanseki not using the flips. Oh my gosh, Brain Destroyer. The core speed gets the ball to Zanseki. No, no flips needed. They have 2 flips going to the draft.
Yeah, overtime kicking in for some crazy core speed all of a sudden, going up the bumper too for a perfectly slotted in shot for Zanseki. They are going to find 2 sparks in this draft. It's up to them whether or not they want to take it. There are some very threatening things in this draft, like maybe a Dren for Julie, and Spark of Strength for Julie actually is very notable. And Monumentalist for now, because now has this build where she has so much CDR if the mines hit something. So if she has Timeless Monu, they will always get that value. This could take over the game, I think. Dubu opting for Missile Prop over Twin Drive, maybe denying Finny, but Finny doesn't have any of a problem taking Twin Drive herself here. This, I don't know if I agree with the Spark of Leadership take from Cragley. I think it should be Strength, because there is a world where Yin Kirby just starts killing everyone now, honestly. I can see it.
Yeah. As we're back in the neutral state, both 1 bear, both down for each team. Possession on the side of COYO, trying to dribble around. Now Mine sends the ball forward. See, oh, the missile prop, Dubu gets actual value here. Gets the corner off and set up. Cragley dribbling the ball. Whiffing the Crystal Thorns. No dice on that scoring attempt. Beam goes wide. Julak, they're just shooting Julak. They're trying to shoot Julak. Roll comes out from Beelzebub. That was the craziest dash punch I've ever seen.
That could have been a kill.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Now Mine.
Money timeless! Jump scare! Ah!
No, Mine. Look at that first point on set 4. I do want to talk about one awakening that wasn't picked, Orb Replicator. Do you think that would have made a difference for either team?
I think Orb Replicator is a very strong awakening on goalies. I will say that for sure. I do think the other 2 goalies, or both goalies in the game, had something they wanted a little more. Like Dubu taking Missile Prop with extra special might have some big value, especially with Timeless. And I think Twin Drive Finny is just insane in general. So It is a great awakening, but I think it wasn't right for this game specifically. They're finding some good offense here, though. Cragley and Scandals both having flipped. Zon spent his own, and they're both wasted. No goal is found from this flip, especially with Julak being able to cover with that primary on now. And they're looking for some offense there. They might force out Scandals, they will, but it doesn't get any value, and they're right back in the offense here. Yin Kirby has his own flip to work with here, Missile Prop sucks, and they might actually find a goal right away off this. They just need to get the ball to Yin Kirby safely, and he walked into the... Oh, he saved it!
Never punished. His Bob passing to Craggy. Scary situation right here. 3 people blown up by the mine. Craggy, good evade. Does not get killed by the Flame Flurry. Triple take goes out, gives possession to Zon, taking good strike from them. Good strike from Julak. They didn't lose their mind. Didn't strike right at Zansaki. Good strike up, maintaining this defense. Good secondary from Craggy, trying to play around this midfield interaction. Zansaki blows himself up. The craziest dash punch comes
The
out.
lingering hitbox on the
Kirby will secure that second point.
One thing I noticed from Julak there was the ball was getting into Zanseki, open hands, open shot on the net. And Julak, on reaction to that, walked into the black hole to disrupt it. It hits on Zanseki. That saved them the point there. That was a very smart play from him. I'm a big fan of the way he did that.
Yep. As the corner offense leads to a lot of damage on the side of Chikara Eclipse. TP comes out from Julak, healing in Kirby. Beelzebub rolls in. Big damage on the Cragly. Strike shot Cragly from Beelzebub, trying to keep the stagger low. Good attempt on the punch on the hit stun, but triple take saves the bear. Oh my gosh, that back pass with the stake. Scandals using the core flip. Ice cold defense. Doesn't get antsy. Good strikes from Scandals. While holding.
All they needed. Wow.
Unfortunate. That seals the deal. A set 4 win comes out for COYO ending this game.
Yeah, the log from Beelzebub, it almost didn't catch the core there, but because it did, it kept that offense going, and what they would have taken a second barrier off of and maybe had a chance for a comeback, because of that log coming out right in time, they actually found a strike war on the Scandals. He didn't have anything left. He's pretty much guaranteeing the game there. Very well played from COYO. I will say, they were playing a very methodical game. Julak especially, I think, was playing some very intelligent plays. I was usually seeing the thought process going through his mind. I was impressed by it with a lot of the things he was doing that game. The build especially paid off. The hot shot heavy impact, double cooldown stacking, double creation size. It's claimed to go on the final set on its own, so it's proved its value alone there. But it was also just keeping such good tempo for their team. And tempo is what they need.
First game, we're inside of COYO. Let's see if Chikara Eclipse will bring it back. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hello everyone, and we are back with Game 2. COYO versus Chikara Eclipse. Interesting comps on both teams actually. Let's see how this game unfolds.
Yeah, it was a stacks on stacks Deadeye start. On Demon Days especially, you might think that Deadeye would be picked up for all like members of a team. You draft around it, because if you can kill the enemy team frequently, then if they draft stacks, it's complete like Dead Awakening on them. But because of the way the comps played out, neither team has too much consistent damage pressure. So the way it ended up is that now most players on this team, in this lobby, have that stacks on stacks, and they'll probably be stacking it up highly. The only exception is Cragley, who's running Deadeye Amy, and that will find value this game. I'm very confident in that. It will find a lot of very potent knockback kills. If not, it'll just get a lot of damage on its own.
Okay. Craggy already found that first kill on that earlier point. As Julak is taken out from the field, I will play going for Chikara Eclipse. Good slot in on the bottom side. First point goes to Chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, I think Deadeye alone on the aiming here is going to pose a massive threat for COYO, and they might need to figure something out before it kind of just takes over this game. For one, they have to make sure they're not knockback killed by it, because that alone can steal an entire point away.
Yeah. As the ball flies by, Scandals beams Julak. Flip comes out from Beelzebub, trying to get the core up for his barrier take. Goes for Chikara Eclipse. Good, interesting strike placement. I was going to say good strike placement, but the Blobbo saves the ball. Good save from Beelzebub. Playing into the strengths of Atlas, playing cool, calm, and collected. Revive comes out, trying to get the stagger bars back on top, healthy. Second barrier falls for COYO. Flip comes out from Yin Kirby, trying to get the second barrier. Hook trying to damage Cragly. Scandal's setting up that NATO. See, they're trying to play in these lanes of Demon Diaz. Cragly has that flip right now, trying to secure this goal. Dribbling play, and a really good shot placement for Cragly. Sets the ball in 2-0 for Chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, the tempo is just completely in the favor of Chikara Eclipse right now. I think future drafts might shake it up a bit more, but the way the game state is right now, Yin Kirby lagged through that eject button tech. The way the game state is right now, I think Chikara Eclipse are set to take this game unless COYO figures something out. They really need to change their game plan right now.
I would say like try to kill him, but they're playing a pretty heavy core control comp. Not they took all stacks, if I am not mistaken. Yes, max all stacks, but I would say try to kill him, but it's pretty hard if you're not. They can't really dump damage consistently, even if they're like layering abilities. But besides the point, Revive comes out from Atlas, from Beelzebub. Good offense. Trying to come out from Chikara Eclipse. Flip comes out from Julag. Has to clear the ball away. Red core all around the field. Zanseki looking for these open primary kills. Astral Projection comes out from Beelzebub trying to get the ball away. And unfortunate timing on that advance will lead to a set win for Chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, we're seeing Aragoli at her best right now because when she's winning, she's like very much winning. Because of just the way she works, she's buffing her teammates, she's keeping the ball forward. But ultimately, she does only have one on-demand defensive cooldown, so if COYO can keep this going and find something for themselves here, then it might not actually be as dominant for Chikara Eclipse as it seems right now. Because as soon as they get that pressure going on Arrow, with the size awakening on Rasmus especially, they might find a lot more value off of their offenses.
So draft fans out. Triple size takes for the latter half of the draft. Passing up on that, those Diameter Awakenings, those heavy impact, those prize fighters, just looking for more size. As we come back, defense is already played by COYO. Not what you want to see here on their side. Labo Rain comes down from Julag, trying to get this core control. As they want that ball up on, not on their half, but on Chikara Eclipse's side, so they can steamroll the era. But it's not looking like the way Cragly and Zanseki are really playing. They're playing both sides of the coin really well, core control and damage, getting that stagger bars really low, as well as maintaining that possession, keeping the ball on the side of COYO, keeping that pressure. Flip comes out from Cragly. Good strike placement from Cragly. It's up, but it gets the barrier. Yin Kirby finds the first barrier for COYO. Julag gets ping-pong across the field, 3 abilities launched. They're staggered. Dash comes out for Cragly, almost reversal from Yin Kirby, almost kills Cragly. Very interesting play. Beelzebub clears through the middle. Dribbling, really dangerous defense here, but again, ice cold killer. Unfortunate strike from Julag, they had it. And the Blubble saves the strike timing as the flip comes out from Zanseki and slots it on the top side. First point goes to Chikara Eclipse.
That was so unfortunate. The Strike War barely didn't take the barrier, and then because of the slime not taking the barrier, it was saving the strike cooldown timing for Scandals afterwards when it otherwise would have worked. That was a very unfortunate series of events for COYO there. And Yin Kirby doesn't die because Super Surge sends him so far back that the Glitch Pop doesn't connect. Wow. And then the orb is taken from Cragly here. He is the only one without stacks, so he's a lower priority kill target, but if he does die, the tempo might be enough in their favor to where they can take the point anyway. However, they don't have the cooldowns to make it work after the hook is missed for Yin Kirby. They need to find something else to get this point in their favor.
Yeah. Ball is on the side of Chikara Eclipse. That's what you want to see from COYO. Zanseki is pretty low here. Gets knocked off by the whiplash from the Rasmus from Yin Kirby. Hook goes wide from Yin Kirby. He gets beamed. Beelzebub clearing down. Uses the revive. Almost saves Yin Kirby, but Arenado does not secure the kill. Cragly using that Super Surge dash to maintain possession here. Really playing to the strengths of Miami. Maybe playing that damage, playing that quick control. Unfortunate flip goes out from Yin Kirby. An unfortunate barrier take from Beelzebub. Does not look good on the defense right now. Cragly passing down the Scandals. Trying to get this play. Good hook from Yin Kirby. Whoa. Second barrier. Beelzebub. I don't know what killed them. Oh my gosh. Kazan found dead in the Demon Diaz. Yin Kirby found low. Drew trying to win these interactions in the middle, but Craigley is really holding it down. 1v1. Oh, good clear by Scandals. Good clear again. The Blobble does not secure the goal. Ice Cold Killer Scandals. This goalie matchup is really looking. Can't Craigley secure the ball to Zanzeki? Not right now. Double flip comes on. A good flip comes out from Scandals. Reset back to neutral. Zanzeki looking low, trying to look for this orb. Air has no cooldowns, but Craigley saves Scandals right there. Unfortunate timing right there. NATO comes on. They're laying all these strikes. They're fighting desperately for it to save this barrier. Good strike from the Kirby slot on the top side, even out the set for COYO.
And there it finally is. Yeah, they're finding that offense on Era, who has no cooldown. She spent her beam, and now she's kind of just completely inactive for the rest of until her beam comes back. She's a very snowbally sink or swim character in that regard. And they finally found the sink on that end there. Hopefully they can look for it more. They're getting some very compelling offense here, and Juno Jump Strike is perfectly on time. Scandals barely didn't get a strike back in time because of it. They're able to take that second barrier, or second point. They're up in the set. They might actually take this and make it even.
Juno Jump! Really playing into the strengths of Juno. Juno almost dies too. Ow! Watch out, Kazan too! Everyone's looking really low, but we have touched upon this. Zanzeki is actually running Vicious Bremberries. I've seen this a lot from other players all across the leagues. NASA, Nassel even. I wonder if this Vicious Bremberries under Kazan is actually, it might be, it's competitive in this Demon Diaz state.
Yeah, the idea behind it is that he doesn't want to get suddenly killed with that damage pressure to lose the stacks. However, he's died like 3 times this set regardless, and now he's even slower. Oh,
my God.
Just gets hit by a random pendulum swing. That's his stacks and stacks. That's the set. Suddenly, out of nowhere, it's evened up. It's 1-1 for this series.
Yeah. Going to the draft. The one big difference I want to say is that all 3 players on the side of COYO had their stacks up, so they snowballed really quickly there.
Absolutely. They found the kills that mattered. And coming into this draft, Erasmus has a few things he wants. Bulk Up is the one true awakening here. And it does concede Cast Last or Monumentalist to Era. It might be Monumentalist from her to deny. I don't believe denying Hotshot from Juno is as important as Scandals is making it out to seem, because she does get that 1-2 punch anyway, and that's a faster core speed than a Hotshot because of the nerfs. 1-2 punch is 12% and Hotshot is 10%. So because of that, Amy's forced to take Monu, and Atlas gets a Reptile Remedy, and that Reptile Remedy is very significant because it means that Zanzeki can still be killed. I think they've accidentally just thrown away their win con by denying things in that draft. Denying the Juno, denying the Atlas. Because as a result, Zanzeki is now very killable, especially with a 1-2 punch Julak, which he was forced to take. As a result, because of that 1-2 punch, Zanzeki is sent off the map with no stacks on stacks to his name.
Yeah. As the neutral state goes for COYO, we have the expanse coming out from Beelzebub, trying to keep the ball up, playing the win conditions. As these points go on even longer, the stacks on stacks will keep stacking up, playing for that core control speed for the win con for COYO. Beelzebub has the flip right now. Let's see if they use it. Oh my gosh, the press the point does not secure the goal. As Crackley uses the flip, unfortunately, Yin Kirby uses their evade, but a bit of a miscommunication, I will say. They had the Atlas revive, they didn't need to evade there, but we get the second barrier. And
oh no!
The Demon Diaz wave pushes the ball up and away from Beelzebub, giving that first point to Chikara Eclipse.
One of the harder situations to read when the ball is caught between a sound wave and a hard place. It could really be anywhere, and because of that, Beelzebub did not strike the ball in time, and it got right past him, and he wasn't able to react with flip. As a result, they lost that point. However, Recovery Drone is spent for Julak here. That could be the first step they need to taking the stacks and stacks, and if they take that, he's in a much worse spot. The Yin Kirby's finding a lot of these pendulum swings behind the barrier, reading Scandals, going for a backwards clear here, and as a result, they're finding a lot of random barriers taken. The ball is so small, though, that Scandals does not find the backwards clear there properly in time. He takes his own barrier, and as a result, no flip to work with for Julak here, but he has pretty much everything else he needs. A kill is found onto Zanzeki. His stacks and stacks are gone once more.
Yeah, this Kirby guy has the most disturbing build of all time. Big fish, bulk up, 760 stagger for the Rasmus. He is not in much danger of being killed unless it's like a Ivy glitch pop combo. And you could see it's very clear that he's just looking to damage dump Cragly or Zanseki because Cragly has no stacks. Oh my gosh, the pendulum, the the primary from Yin Kirby just kills Cragly in the net. Hook comes to save the barrier. Zanseki, Brawl in the net. Let's see if they hold it down. They do hold it down to press the secure the out clear as Cragly has the flip right now. Uses it. Oh, unfortunate strike from Yuzelbub. Zanseki, Cragly, 4-0 coming out from Chicago Eclipse and the press the point. Will secure the second point with Chicago Eclipse.
That was like the last frame of the Kazan strike lingering hitbox there. Just barely, it didn't get right through it there, and as a result, they found that goal, covering the option with the strike there. It was looking really bad for Chikara Eclipse. They lost their stacks and stacks on both players in that point, open net, but they still were able to take this point. If they can get one more, even despite this kind of down position they're in with the speed, they are up in goals, so they can squeak out one single goal here, and they can get this set far in their favor. Be up a set and match point for the game.
Yeah. Cyclone stacks are fully stacked for all three players on the side of COYO. Scandals is not stacked up as well as Sanseki. So they're trying. COYO is really trying to play the momentum, trying to outspeed them and outcoy control and out damage, just trying to Chikara Eclipse. But Cragly is really using Imi to the best of their ability, gets the second barrier, Scandals pushing up with the flip, uses it surprisingly, and then Yin Kirby just denied the flip shot attempt. Jump comes off from Julai trying to strike the ball. Yin Kirby using his speed, looking really dangerous, and the glitch pop combo will secure the goal. Cragly is almost out of flip. Passing plays coming out for Scandals and Cragly. Hook goes wide, does not secure the ball, but the ball is found on the side of Chikara Eclipse. The barrier falls down for Chikara Eclipse, and Yin Kirby is gonna die! Unfortunate positioning, got a bit of mind control. They're trying to koi chase there, but they didn't see the Super Search Deadeye Ivy lurking on the other side of the field, looking for that kill. Good flip from Beelzebub will secure the out clear. Yin Kirby is respawned back into play. Julak dribbling, trying to use the koi speed of Well, the Era has no defensive ability with that being used, but another win condition has appeared for the side of Chicago Eclipse, killing Julak, but the Atlas revives Julak's health bar, back to full stagger. Imi turret goes on the field, Astral's Expanse goes wide, 2 cooldowns down on the side of Beelzebub. Sanseki with the core stop, with the press the point, does not secure the barrier, beams, Scandals just beams Zanseki with the hook, with the extended hitbox, and the glitch pop! Insane glitch pop comes out from Cragly and will secure that third set for Chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, just completely overwhelming COYO there. I think COYO, a lot of the time, they were defending pretty well, but what I was seeing was almost every single time they got the ball, they played it back into that condensed situation they were finding themselves in, instead of playing for that open space that they can do so well with Juno and Rasmus, right? And a lot of the time, especially at the end of the point there, the last point, they haven't been killed by that dash punch combo from Amy in so long that they kind of forgot that there's a Super Surge explosive entrance, not an explosive entrance, but Deadeye. Amy there, she has a lot of knockback, and Cragly was showing it there, taking the stacks and stacks away from COYO, and now it's a primary concern for them in the set, as Cragly has a twin drive, he'll almost always have that secondary ready when he needs it.
Yeah. Really looking dangerous here. Scandals uses the beam to buff both Cragly and Zanseki. Barrier take goes for the side of COYO. NATO kills Yin Kirby, and Beelzebub is too late to revive, and like you said, they're playing back into the side of Chikara Eclipse. They're not trying to clear into this space, and it results into the barrier loss as Yin Kirby is respawned, trying to stack on the damage for Yin Kirby. The strike placement does not go well for Beelzebub. Scandals has the speed, has the flip, looking the... That was the craziest combo I've ever seen. Crazy ping pong play for Chikara Eclipse. Passing plays goes into the NATO, goes into Zanseki, and a well-deserved point for Chikara Eclipse. They played like a perfect team right there.
Yeah, finding the abandoned goal at the very end for good measure there. I will say, one thing that could be notable in this draft is Yin Kirby having Might of the Colossus here, but the way the game has been playing out, they're not finding the damage on Chikara Eclipse like they used to. They're not getting that insane damage going on with Might of the Colossus, 1-2 Punch Juno, like they were in set 2, and as a result, they're just kind of crumbling. Chikara Eclipse is opening them up very, very quickly, and they're kind of just completely on the back foot here, 1 point away from losing the set and going to a game 3.
Zanseki looking really dangerous here, almost has to flip. And I do want to touch upon the Might of Colossus pick here, because you're playing into an era, and if you don't know, if you get beaten by era with Might of Colossus, you lose a lot of power, and that loses a lot of damage, as well as you lose size, you lose speed, and you lose a lot of power. So it's not a good look for Yin Kirby if they're trying to look for these plays, but he's playing out of his mind. He goes 1v9 beast mode. It doesn't matter if you getting beamed, if you play like a beast and use all your strike timings to secure that point.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about a good look for Yin Kirby, I see one there. That's what they need to win the set here, because that momentum shift is very valuable for them. 2 barriers found yet again. Koyo is reversing this. Beelzebub has his flip to work with. He's spending it instantly. Strike Wars 1 from Julok there. And the momentum is so strong in their favor here. They are playing behind their barrier, but it's not looking like they're in any danger because they're playing 3 defense here. Yin Kirby's able to convert this, maybe. A primary coming in. A flip is on his favor here, but the turret is blocking it away. Julok is in this offense here with a dash range Juno. He is able to cover that downwards clear, but he's not quite able to find it. And it's looking like Chikara Eclipse is finding a better offense than they were able to find. Kragley is looking very low, though. If he gets killed here, he doesn't have stacks and stacks, but the time that they need with that respawn timer could be all they need.
Oh, watch out, Kragley. Good combo from Yin Kirby with the hook, with the whiplash. Will secure that kill. As we're back on the defense here, Beelzebub looking not as ice cold, I would presume. They're kind of playing a bit scared. They don't lose this point, I would agree. But NATO almost kills Julak. The barrier take, open net on both sides. Zanseki has the flip coming up. Xanos already has a flip already, so they're just gonna play for this koi speed. They're just gonna play for. Oh, the Yin Kirby didn't redirect the ball, but the size from the primary gets the ball into his possession and gets the forced flip from Scandals. Unfortunate strike play. Smith, but Yin Kirby has another primary in the back and will secure the goal for COYO.
Wow, that was so nerve-wracking there at the end. Anything could have happened the moment he got the ball there, and the way it played out, he played it perfectly. And I will say, Zanseki having this 150 stacks is something that Koyo should probably be looking at, because in that power play, he has 2 sparks with agility and stacks on stacks. He was able to just threaten that behind barrier clear the entire time and wait for Kragley to respawn. So if they can find a kill on him, I think the set is as good as one. However, it's looking a bit difficult too, as he has that Van Brace pickup.
Core stop comes in from Zanseki. Not sure if he wanted that or not. I almost said Julak. Yin Kirby was beamed by the arrow. And now this is what you want from the side of Koyo. Era has no cooldowns, but the triple goalie will come out for Chikara Eclipse, knowing that the Era doesn't have any defense plays up. As Yin Kirby has the flip. Let's see if they try to kill Zanseki. They should. They're looking for the 1v1 play, but I think they should have just killed Zanseki right there. They had the whiplash, he had the flip. I think that would just. And they could have rolled the momentum as they're getting punished for it. They're not making the decisions, and the ball somehow gets to Kragley, and that point and that game will go for Chikara Eclipse. I do want to say the decision making from Yin Kirby there was, for me personally, I thought they should just kill Zanseki with that stacks, because he has 160 power, and that whiplash flip I think would just blown Zanseki up.
Yes, I think it would have been valuable. I do also want to point out that him choosing to go for a score there wasn't that bad, because he had his flip and it would take the secondary and he could find a sudden end of the set there. However, he did barely misplay mechanically on that end, so the decision making wasn't that bad. It's just an unfortunate blunder at the very end, losing the entire game almost. And they'll have to go to game 3 and see how they can make it work.
Game 3. This is looking to a great series, 1-1 for each side. Beelzebub has the 250 redirects. They're doing all they can. You can see the save difference. You can see the temp. Beelzebub has 95 saves. Otherwise, from Scandals has 47. Sure, the Chikara Eclipse looked way better in this Demon Diaz game. They played with more confidence, more pressure, and they just kept them on the side of COYO. But that will settle this second game. Game 3 will come up really shortly. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hello everyone, and we are back for Game 3. COYO versus Chikara Eclipse on CLARION Test Chamber 1-1. We're looking at the obscure variant, and let's see how this game plays out.
Yeah, it's a Spark of Focus bulk up start, and both goalies opting for the Spark of Focus over bulk up, which does make sense. They might want that scaling CDR in the later game, and they're not really getting that value out of Stagger anyway. I will say Rasmus being drafted here over Juliet might just be because, again, Kirby is more comfortable on the pick, because I think Juliet is just a stronger pick here. What a strange kill with the log there. Finding the, around the hook into the upper shot, Scandals is low, he can't really contest it. That's a weird point. But yeah, I think Juliet, she wasn't banned. I think Julie here would be a very strong pick. And Zonseki, I will say, is opting for Vambraces again, despite the fact that he's starting with a Stagger Awakening this time, so it might just be a preference thing for him.
Yeah. Right here, it's all comfort. It's comfort picks here in Nasty. They're trying to play to their strengths and not go too overboard. Julak gets the barrier. Yin Kirby already has flip for the second point. Let's see if they use it. No, but the triple defense for Chikara Eclipse and a late flip reaction from Yin Kirby. He's playing a bit flustered right now. Whiffs the hook. No cooldowns. He has to settle down. We get the return back to neutral state. Julak low. Beelzebub and Julak both have flips. We get the Yin Kirby gets the error orb, and the primary barely goes wide. Does not get the flip. Yin Kirby has possession, trying to make these passing plays towards Julak, and the reaction check. Old man reactions coming out from Cragley, deciding to save the flip, and 2 points going for COYO.
I don't think it's reactable from that distance. He just walked up and flipped it in. That was crazy. But yeah, the way this comp is playing out, I think now Rasmus Dubu is more conducive to winning these early points. So it's not... so it's not
Watch
like
out!
The outcome of this set, if it is a 3-0, as it's shaping up to be, is necessarily the outcome of the game. But the momentum is certainly a tangible factor. And COYO getting this momentum could be very important for them. However, Chikara Eclipse does have the open net here on the bounce house, so they might actually find something of their own.
Good strike placement coming out from Yin Kirby. Has the whiplash, has the second sweep. I thought I was gonna see a bounce house kill with the bug. Zonseki has the flip. Press the point. Oh, strikes. Tried to strike top side, but does not get the goal. Yin Kirby walking up to the ball. Strike shot comes out from Beelzebub. Cragley has the blazing pace on the side of the Kai. Yin Kirby has the ball. Whiplash gets the barrier. NATO does not kill Yin Kirby. Watch out with the roll out. Dubu! Watch out. Julak gets the pass to Yin Kirby, but the error size debuff actually gets Cragley enough time to strike the ball around Yin Kirby. Julak has the ball. Flip comes out, trying to use the bouncy house space angles to get the ball. Strike shot, Dubu gets the ball, gets the clear. Oh, we get the log. Scary strike timings for COYO. It's looking really dangerous. Cragley trying to triple with it. But wait, oh my gosh. No goal. Good passing place. Pass, goal. Pass, goal.
That was a very creative raw flip into just instant, you're taking offense now. You're going offense now. Go! And it did work out with some very clean passing in front of the net from the side of COYO. They did find that last point. Very well played defense the whole way through. They didn't crumble once, and as a result, they were able to find this last point. Even despite a bit of a rougher start, they're able to take it here. And we'll see if Julak opts for a heavy impact over a Speed Awakening again. Yes, he will. And as a result, Kai does get Fight or Flight, but he would have gotten stacks and stacks anyway, so it's not like something massive is being lost out on. Size Awakening on Rasmus, and Kazan is left with pretty much nothing unless he wants to take Among Titans, which is unwise, opting for a Stinger instead. This is a fairly strong draft for both teams, but I think COYO came out stronger. A Size Awakening on Rasmus and Bulk Up Heavy Impact on Now might actually prove to be quite a bit of damage, especially on Cragley. However, because he took Fight or Flight instead of Stacks and Stacks, killing him is less of a priority.
Yeah. Yin Kirby is looking to be the hero player for COYO. They're really putting all their eggs into that basket of Yin Kirby with that recovery drone, with that bulk up. He is going to be the star player. Beelzebub gets the rollout. Julak, good evade, does not get killed by the open primary. Yinkobi gets the first
Oh.
barrier. Let's see, they get two. Good strikes from Julak. Unfortunate beam missed. Does not save the ball. Because while dribbling in the net, they're not. Oh my gosh, I'm stumbling on my words right now. It's okay. Yinkobi gets the ball, gets the Arenado. Julak TP's in. Julak does not have evade. He did not have evade, so he gets killed under a bit of an impatient play. Yinkobi has the flip. Not get the C bounce, gets the hook, but loses possession, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, they're playing into this middle. A lot of crazy bounces going in. Because Wub has a strike shot, uses it, uses the flip. Cragly, Scandals, double flip, almost gets killed by the whiplash. Roll out, roll out. Save them. Julak gets the ball. I don't know. Log comes in. Clear comes out from Scandals. Big now, getting the strikes, but Scandals ice cold on the defense. But this core speed is ramping up. Gets the barrier, gets the flip. Beelzebub ice cold on the defense. Does not get discouraged from losing that barrier, but the hook does not secure the ball, but the strike war leads to Zanzaki getting the first point.
Yeah, that was a bit of a chaotic point coming through. I will say, I think every single player in this lobby is trying to play too quickly. I'm seeing Yinkobi spend flip in a 1v3. I'm seeing a lot of these plays simmer out very quickly. I think if both teams wait a little longer and play more slow game, they'll find a lot more guaranteed wins coming through. But the way it is placed right now is that a lot of things are happening all the time until randomly someone makes a mistake. There's nothing really guaranteed going on. It's all on the players to play well mechanically because of the way they're playing right now. I'm pretty sure this game might stall out if the goalies are as locked in as they were earlier in this series.
Yeah. I do want to say Yinkobi did actually take the slicks here, playing for his 1v1 opportunities against the era. They're, like you said, they're playing mostly for. I was gonna say they're playing mostly for themselves, but unfortunately, Zanzaki gets the second point for Chikara Eclipse.
That was a very impressive angle in one way or another. Finding a perfect slot into the barrier there. Unfortunately, it was his own and his last. But you know, if he can aim those shots at the enemy barrier, he's proven he can do it. So we might see some changes coming in here.
The Clarion expands, closing up the space, playing for these lanes here. Yinkobi wiping back on the defense, trying to ego play his way out of the situation. The ball expertly gets cleared out by Chikara Eclipse. They're looking more composed now. They're not playing risky. They're playing to the strengths of themselves, playing together, playing with each other. Cragly has the flip. The Giga Blast goes a bit wide, does not secure the goal. Zanzaki does look a bit low. Uses the evade. Preemptive damage looking from Beelzebub. The Tofu Fortress comes out from Beelzebub, trying to stall the ball. Flip comes out from Cragly. No dice on the shot, but the press the point secures the goal and the set for Chikara Eclipse.
The game is technically even, but the way this is playing out, COYO looks so messy right now. I think they need to play a little, of course, a little slower, as I said earlier, but I'm pretty sure their flip usage is the #1 thing they absolutely need to work on, because they're just spending it like all of a sudden in the most random spot in the game, and as a result, they're not having these strong situations when they actually need it. However, I will say something that can turn this game in their favor is a Spark of Focus pickup on Beelzebub. Spark of Focus and a Jill with Prime Time, he'll have a lot of cooldown reduction and movement speed to work with in this game. I'm pretty sure that might be the turning point, if there is one, for their favor.
Double size tonight coming out for Chikara Eclipse, gearing against Yinkobi's win condition, which is that 1v1 plays. He is left with the prize fighter and looking for these primary kills, supposedly, because that's what he thinks is best for him to get the most value of him being on the field. Primary goes in again, does not get the barrier. Beelzebub pushing up. Yeah. They're rotating. Julak is making sure that he covers Beelzebub's space, and if the ball gets out, he will just rotate back. Julak getting the ball, ping-ponging with Cragly. Cragly almost dies from the primary, but no dice on that. Beelzebub playing this defense. Zanzaki gets buffed. Core speed going on the other side. Cragly's almost dead. Good pass from Yinkobi, but no dice on the shot. Scandals gets the clear. Another clear from Scandals. Ice Cold Killer. They're getting cool, calm, collected plays. Beam going up from Yin Kirby, walking up with confidence. Scandals is just following Yin Kirby. Putting the backpack on for chikara Eclipse. Well, it comes out from the but the primary kill. Oh, big flip, but they're playing too fast. They got slowed down. They're trying to overthink their options here as Zanseki is playing cool competition.
Nice.
The hook, great hook from Yin Kirby, securing that first point for COYO.
Yeah, finding what they needed at the very end, right before Craigley got that respawn coming in. Very good hook, and there's a prize fighter stack for Yin Kirby that they found there, by the way. That's very important. I'm pretty sure the extra core speed alone, if not the damage and knockback, is going to be very valuable for them, especially when they're scoring on a character like an Aragoli. However, the point is going very quickly in favor of chikara Eclipse. They find both barriers, they have no energy to work with, but they might not need it.
Craigley looking really dangerous with the speed, with the slicks, with the blazing pace. Zanseki looking really low, almost dies from the hook, but good clear from Beelzebub, but that is a fadeaway jumper. He gets taken out. Zanseki pressed the point, but the ball slowly rolls in. Unfortunate for COYO, and it's all tied up here for chikara Eclipse.
Yeah, Dulak had the strike reset there, but I think he buffered it on the way in. Very unfortunate. However, it's an even game. COYO's looking a lot better this set than they were last one. This could be what they need to make the game work for them. We'll really have to see on this offense, frankly, because if they can take the barrier here, as they do, very well played from Yin Kirby and Dulak finding the open space and the guarantee. And what I'm noticing, by the way, is Beelzebub is walking up a lot more frequently with that extra movement speed, and it's getting a lot done. He's really making it work. And because of that, they're finding some much more guaranteed offenses. And guaranteed is what they need this game. It's absolutely the way they need to win this game.
The guaranteed offense will come with time, so they're playing with patience. But the unfortunate clear from Scandals, clearing into Yin Kirby's primate, and COYO will secure that second point.
Yeah, they're kind of making it work. I'm seeing Bizzle, again, just throughout that entire point, he was on the mid line. A lot of the time you can say it's because they're winning that he's there, but I will say in that game, or in that point, I think they were winning because he was there. The other way around completely. As they get the orb on Rasmus here, it's a massive Rasmus to work with, but they don't have the possession to make it count.
And Kirby clears down the Craigley, unfortunately, trying to get that slick speed, that dribbling plays. Julek beamed, damage tacked onto him, but Zanseki is looking low as well. The Dubu log somehow hits Zanseki, and he goes back for the orb. Julak, Yin Kirby, double offense down there on the bottom side. Craigley looking really low. Let's see. Get the kill. Bizwop gets the flip. Does not secure the goal. We get the now has the arrow orb. Craigley looking dead. They looking dead. They found the kill. That is looking like 3 prize fighter stacks, 202 power on Yin Kirby. They're looking really strong right here. Zanseki uses the open primate to try. The flip does not breed anything. Just stalling off a card. They come back on the field. Julak uses all of Now's cooldowns to fully heal himself.
Oh no!
But the ball somehow finds the spot. No dice on the shot from Zanseki. Big Kai coming in with the fadeaway Giga Blast, trying to catch the ball, trying to catch the barrier. But the Daosha's Koi Speed, I mean, bulk up. They just got the press the point strike. Guess getting the goal.
COYO could have found that point so long ago, so easily, but Julak went for a pass instead of a corner setup as Yin Kirby was covering an out clear. If Julak just went for inwards off of that, after when he had the orb, they could have just taken the set right then and there. As a result, COYO is punished for that mistake by chikara Eclipse. It's taken to a game, or a 0.5 here. This set could suddenly swing in their favor. However, Craigley is looking worse for wear. That orb is going to be picked up by him, but the momentum loss is potentially fatal as they do lose the extra barrier off of that. It is an open net for them. They need to hold this down right now, or else they're going to go through a set 4 away from their favor. They don't want that to happen. However, a now secondary covering the flip, and she is set up perfectly. There's no energy for chikara Eclipse. This could be the end of the set. However, a Dubu Wall is slowing down the momentum right now. But Yin Kirby is set for this goal. He finds a good open spot. However, Scandal's able to clear it out. Julak is not quite in the position he needs to be in to cover that. But Yin Kirby finds an open shot off of the Dubu flip pass. Beelzebub is finding some great passes off of these flips to make Yin Kirby get put in these wonderful spots for scoring. COYO takes it to set 4. They're up in the series. They're up in the game. They're 1 set away.
Yin Kirby, well-deserved MVP. Looking at this draft right now, He might take the bulk up, but he takes Reptile with me. Yes, the winning condition is to play for that stagger because you're looking to live. Spike leadership does fall to the Dubu. Triple Spike Dubu with leadership, with CDR, with speed will allow his team to play even more of a snowball playstyle. As we got Spec training going on to the Kazan and the Twin Drive going on the air to finish out the draft. Now we'll get built different.
They let Beastable get Spark of Leadership. He has 40 CDR. His teammates have 10 both, and they're spreading that movement speed. They're spreading the CDR. He has 40 CDR and Prime Time. It's going to be so hard to get through from this game, especially in a more condensed map like this formation. However, he is behind their goalie, which might not be conducive to scoring. However, it is just a natural outcome of the way he's running this offense. It is working out. They're finding these barriers. They're making it so claustrophobic for Chikara Eclipse, and it's working. The Spark pickup was massive for them.
They're playing the momentum base. They're playing the secure the game, secure the goals, secure the barriers, secure the points. They're playing more. They're like you said. They're trying to play slow, but they think the win condition is to play fast. Don't let them get settled. Play into the strength play. Have Chikara Eclipse play on that back foot as the incoming passing plays comes out with the now.
That was so well played.
Well played from Julak will secure that first point for Koyo.
Setting up the now line ahead of time to barely get around that slight arm time, and because of that, he was able to instantly click off of that shot of Scandals. He was able to strike wire perfectly. He wouldn't have been able to do that if he played it any differently. That was very well played from Julak there. Taking the first point in the set, it's looking like Chikara Eclipse doesn't have a chance, honestly. They need to chase him. Okay, well, anything could happen.
Watch out! You're gonna be trying to salvage the defense here, pushing up with the primary. The Nato will not secure the goal, but the Tofu Poachers will slot the ball in. Pass the Zanzaki.
What?
That was the craziest option I've ever seen. The secondary and the pop down will secure the goal somehow.
It didn't even hit the ball. He just struck it right out. I don't understand. What was that?
It's the brain destroyer. As Julak. Oh, Cragley almost taken off the pitch right there. Oh, strike immediately from Cragley is not playing into the strike timing mix-ups. They're playing with confidence. They're playing with speed. Cragley with the slick speed, trying to dribble around Julak. Beelzebub almost gets an unfortunate dribble into his own barrier, but salvages with strike shot comes out, hook comes out, Tofu Fortress comes out, but stalemate on the defense here. Cragley. Roll out comes out from Beelzebub. Unfortunate timing, but they salvage with the speed, with the confidence, with the composure. But Julak is slow with surprisingly a lot of damage factored on Julak with the Stinger bulk up from Kazan. They're trying to layer these abilities onto him, just trying to damage him. Maybe that's the win condition for Julak, as he is the star player on this field.
I think Koyo is playing for too many rotates here because they have that Rasmus, but they have now and Dubu, and this Dubu build is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure they just need to play way more condensed and walk forward and march the ball forward with that now and Dubu, and have Rasmus close out these points, because I'm noticing they're going to play it to Yin Kirby here. They're trying to play it for this open space, but that's not what they need to win this game. They have a conducive formula to winning here. They just need to figure it out and play for it. As Yin Kirby does find an open space here, massive barrage from Crowley to save the barrier. That is not enough to save it for as long as they want, though. Yin Kirby has this flip to work with on this offense. Crowley does flip to save it here, and they do take the barrier. Zanzaki might be able to flip to score the goal right here and now, and he does, as Beelzebub is not in a position to save it. Wow. Koyo definitely found some momentum at the very end there, but they weren't able to make it count.
Yeah. A pretty big blunder from Beelzebub, playing a bit too fast and pushing up when it was not needed. But Yin Kirby and Julak have two flips, trying to secure the second point for them. Julak almost looking low, but the lifeline, that's what they call it. That's what it's called. I'm trying to figure out this whole entire set. Get the barrier. The barrier from Yin Kirby. Very good play from him. Julak uses the flip. A bit of a stalemate there. But the Koi almost gets the Yin Kirby flip. Wow. Never mind. We secure the flip, saves it for this next point, and it's 2-2 for Koyo and Chikara Eclipse.
Pretty much calling out Scandals there, like, you're not going to beam me. I'm just going to play this like you're not going to beam me, and because of that, the startup is too long for Scandals to use the beam reactively. He's able to get that to a set point, a series point even. Yin Kirby kind of just all-star performance out there. However, that is if anything, absolutely what Chikara Eclipse wants to see. The barriers are completely down, the net is open. Scandals wants to walk up and score this game. He wants to use this flip to end the set right here and now. And Beelzebub needs to hold this down if he wants this to work out. A flip comes out, but it's only going to find the first barrier and no possession for them. However, they're going to make something work with the Julock here. They're getting it more condensed. They need to get through Scandals' flip first before they can find the second barrier, however.
Yeah, Cragly and Zanzeki pushing up together. Oh, no! Unfortunate flip comes up for Beelzebub, playing a bit mechanically bad in that situation. Beelzebub still playing with confidence, even though that's what you need. You mind bogged down by that mishap. Strike shot comes out from Cragly. Not Cragly. Beelzebub. Cragly cover. Ace. Scandals pushing up with the NATO. Does not get the goal. Striking into the mix-up. The flip comes out. Does not. They save the flip on Julock. The flip goes out from Scandals. The Barrage tries to get the ball into Zanzeki. Giga Blast goes wide. Tofu Fortress on the ball, on the field, trying to get around this area. Flip comes out preemptively. Wow. Good shot placement from Julock. But the strike, that was a scary strike shot. But the hook comes out. Does not get the ball. Cragly has the flip. The passing right into him. But the good. Oh my god! See this bounce house. Unfortunate kill timing. But Zanzeki has the flip though. Can we play with this midfielder, please, please? No, we do not play together. But it's okay. We're just ping-ponging. It's okay. Ping-pong. Please. Oh my god, no. Scandals. No. He could be, please. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. It could be. Oh, that was the craziest point I've ever seen. Masterclass composure for COYO. And somehow they secured these. Oh my gosh. Cragly just dies to a CTC bounce house. But Scandals just died to a random now primary. Momentum. 2 COYO will get them that series!
What was that last point? Yeah, I mean, props to the players. They were much more composed than I was. What is happening? What a crazy way to end the series. Well played the COYO for sure.
Oh my heart needs a break from that. These stat lines. 265 redirects, 250 redirects on Julock. Oh my gosh, I'm out of breath right now. That was cinema. My hands are up. Cinema. Oh my gosh. As we wind down, 2-1 going for COYO. Great gameplay from both teams. But that'll wrap us up. It was a pleasure casting, and I hope to see you guys later.